Okay. Uh, Good morning. Now, this will be our practical. This will be our practical for HCI data communications. So with me here, I have a document, the lab guide for Datacomm version 1.0. So about this document, let's first go through the symbol conversion is here. This is a switch, because we are going to make use of a ENSP. So in my NSP, once you see a device with this sign like this, just know that is a switch, PC, Ethernet cable, fit AP, router, serial cable. Remember with fit AP, it has to depend on the AC controller. So meaning for our ENSP, shall make use of the fit AP. Then network description, that's that. Then with these devices, they have a device model and software version. So you can see this here, that each network device you have is to be of a certain device model and software version. Okay, so now about this document, these are the main labs. Then the sub labs are being in now here. The first one is Huawei VRP and configuration basics. So you shall look at these different modules. Networking topology. There are different modules in each here. Let me show you. So we shall have there are mainly how many? Let me see, 9. There are 9, 9 main topics. But under each, you shall have like several modules. And by the end of this document, you would have mastered the common basics, common configuration basics. Then from there, you can practice effectively so that you master some of these basic configuration commands. Okay, so let's go to Huawei VRP and configuration basics. To make it this simple, you can even just do that. Okay, so now upon completion of this task, you'll be able to understand the meaning of command line views and how to access and execute command line views, understand the common commands, understand how to use the command line online help, learn how to negate a command, learn how to use the command line shortcut keys. So with this, let's start with this simple one. Now, if you open your ENSP for the first time, it will look like this. For the first time, it will look like this. So now I have to come new topology. Then we get a router here. By the way, I remember sending you a guide on how to install the ENSP. Please, if you haven't installed it, inquire from one of the students who have done so, who have completely installed this. Okay, let's say I go to this. So now for the first time, if you have a network device, now in this case we're using the router. We access the device using what? Using a console cable. So now we have go to cables and look for a console cable. That one. Okay, so after I press start. Now for the first time, you have to go into your device, your PC. And as you go to, you look for console and say connect. This is a common question. The settings. So you should master these values. 9600, the data bits 8, parity none, stop bit 1, follow control none. Let's connect. Now we are connecting to this device here, the router. We are using a console cable. We are accessing the router using a console cable with the help of a PC. You get? Okay. Let's do this. Now, for the first time, the device, whichever device in NSP, by default, it's named Huawei, even other device, Huawei device. So it's up to you to change the name. So as I told you, for the first time, you can use some of these commands if you don't want a lot of messages. But if you start, it's okay to have those messages. Now, say find terminal monitor off. So now this is the user view. So to go into the system view, you shall use that command, and you can change the name from the system view to router 1 like that. So now with this lab, I was basically just showing you on how to access a device for the very first time. Okay. Configuration, now number one, what should complete basic configuration such as device name? We have done that. Router IP, router interface IP address. Let's go to that. Router IP interface. So now, for the first time, you want to know that the different interfaces you have on your device, on your network device. Now, in this case, the router. So I'll use the command display IP interface brief to see if there is any of them that has an IP address already, if you're not sure. You see, now all of them are assigned. You can see we have the Ethernet 00, we have the gigabit 00. So you can see them under this physical protocol. Then you can see IP address mask, none of them has been assigned. Now for this case, let's assign this one here, 00.1. Let's give it some IP address. Now shall we go into interface, give this a shortcut. But if you want, we can do this in a complete form. So I say IP add, give it 10.0. Let's say 10.1.0.1/24 IP add. Now as I want to confirm if that has been successfully done, display this will help us. You see? Now if I go back using quit like that, and I say display IP interface brief, we'll find that now this particular interface has a what? An IP address. Okay. I want to save the configuration. Now to save the configuration is get used to saving all. Now you have to go to the user view to do that. You can use Control Z or still quit like that, and you go back to the other side. So I just save all, and you have to say yes. Press enter until you see that message. Save the configuration successfully. All right, I restart the device. Step 3, we have done all of this. Datacomm router, I don't know that they have used a different name. Now these ones, please practice to get to know that you can use tab to complete autocomplete. Press tab to complete the command. What else is here? That and now you can use the question mark to know the other commands. You can use the question mark to know the other command that follow that particular keyword you've pressed there, or you've typed in there. Display this, we have done that, I've done that. Quit, we have done that. Display current configuration, okay. Display current configuration is the short form we use normally. You can just say display CU. Display current configuration. You want the configuration that you've done. You see, now like this one here. Okay. Press Control C, it's what I've just done. I moved that from here, from display configuration, I pressed Control C to come to here. Okay. Save, we have done that, but get used to save all, especially those people who are going to go further into competition, who are Huawei city competition. Saving all is very, very important. Now, some of the operations in the file system, to show you the directory, dir. Okay, dir. Now you see, here by default, we save to this VRP cfg.zip by default. But you can also create your own. Now, creating your own, how do we do that? If the configurations I've done and I want to save them to a particular configuration file other than the default one here, I'll say save dev dot CFG. Yes, dev.cfg. Once I do that and I say enter, they'll tell me if I'm sure. I'll say yes. Then if I say dir directory, you'll find that I have dev here, .cfg, instead of the default one. So meaning all my calculations I've just done, if I started this lab, are saved in this. Okay, hope that is clear. Now, if you would want to, once you start up your device, well, like this particular device you have configured, and you want to continue using that dev.cfg, you have to tell the order that my startup file will be dev.cfg. How do you do that? You use this command, startup save the configuration, then you put its name, .cfg, like that. But that will function after rebooting. But now if you do want to check now the different setup files that you have, we use the command, use the command display startup, display startup. So let's make this. Now you see you have /dev.cfg. The next is startup. You get, guys? Hope this is clear. Otherwise, if you want to go to the default one, you say reset, like that. Reset saved configuration. Are you sure? Yes. Now, if you do that, you go back to the default one. So it's where the configuration will be saved. And after that, you will reboot a device. Otherwise, this is the end of this particular module of this lab. Verification, then we just display here to the configuration. Now, these are the different shortcuts. Different shortcuts. The common one that's normally asked, Control Z, and there is a one for returning, control. Anyways, yeah, you get time and go through some of these shortcuts. Now, to creating an interconnected IP network. Now, what you have just covered, it's about what? Huawei VRP basic configuration commands.